Joined by political analyst Mr. Levy Ndou. Good morning to you, Mr. Ndou. Thank you for joining us here on ANN7. We just heard there from the court with regards to those 783 charges against President Jacob Zuma. Just your initial reaction to that judgment being handed down.
Well, good morning to you, Abigail. Good morning to the viewers at home. I think one must indicate that years back, President Zuma had indicated that he would love to have his day in court. You would also recall that this is a culmination of a long process that has been going on. The legal process, a number of courts and a number of decisions have been taken in relation to this matter. But at the same time, this is also a reaffirmation to all South Africans that in South Africa we adhere to the supremacy of the Constitution and the rule of law. And all citizens in South Africa are equal before the law. And obviously that is why we have this kind of a judgment in which the sitting head of state can still go and appear before the courts of law and answer on the basis of what is being asked from the courts. But also at the same time, this becomes a victory, especially on the part of the Democratic Alliance and those that felt that justice has not been served for some time. And I think those that are in opposition, benches as in the DA and other political parties who wanted this decision to come in their favor might be celebrating. It is also not the end of the entire process, because President Zuma and his legal team still has to go and appear before the courts, and then a final decision has to be taken whether President Zuma is actually guilty or not guilty.
Mr. Ndou, with regards to those 783 charges, those will be reinstated now, if I am correct in saying so. With regards to President Jacob Zuma and the impact it will have on him as the president of South Africa, what does that hold in? How do we go forward with regards to that?
That is where we actually come in, you know. Excuse me. I think what is important now is for the ANC and all the structures of the ANC to decide. But we need to bear in mind, all of us, that up until today, President Zuma remains innocent because he has not been proven guilty by any court of law. But I think for the image of the ANC and the image of the office that he holds, I think a decision has to be taken, especially by the ruling party. If you look at the kind of charges that are actually being reinstated, these are serious charges. And South Africa is very, very much worried about the rate of corruption. And if these are corruption charges, you will need the ANC that is responsible to say, if the head of state and the president of our party is going to face the charges of corruption, we need to take a decision. Maybe they would say, please step aside in the meantime so that we face your legal issues now, or maybe we should have someone to take over or to run the ANC and the country. But it is indeed, at a political level, not very good for President Zuma and the ANC, and I think they need to sit down and do a damage control.
Damage control needs to be done indeed. Mr. Ndou, just stay with us. We want to continue this conversation with you.